you own it. Let every mile bring a smile, yeah.
Welcome back to another episode of the Road to Life podcast with Meredith and Craig. Special episode.
This is episode 100.
100!
100 weeks in a row without missing a single week. 100 straight weeks.
It's a pretty cool accomplishment.
I'm really proud of us.
I am too. And that's the topic of the episode, is we're going to talk about consistency, discipline, and what it's taken for us to get to 100 episodes. Because I think it's something like the top 1%. There's like 1% of podcasts get to 100 episodes or something.
Oh,
Most
I think
people,
it's even less than 100. We should have looked this stat up before.
We definitely should have. We definitely should have done some homework.
We'll look it up. We'll put it in the show notes.
We didn't. But I think it's an interesting stat of like 1% or 1% of the 1%. Or it's a very small number of podcasts ever get to the 100th episode.
Yeah.
So
cheers.
Kudos.
100 episodes. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it's taken a lot, to be honest. Like, it's taken some help, because we've gone through some shit this year that we probably wouldn't have been able to get these podcasts out if it was just us. So shout out to Timur for all his help, helping us get them edited and posted and all the good things. So
yeah.
we need.
Timur's been a huge help getting everything on the back end set up and going for us, posted. So big thank you to him.
When my dad died, we never would have got our podcast out for a couple of weeks if it wasn't for him. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you to all of you guys for listening. That makes it way more fun that we're not just talking to ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you to you for sure. And thank you to us for showing up every day. And that's really the topic of the episode, is showing up every day and being able to just put in the work.
Yep.
One step in front of the other.
Even when it's boring, even when you don't want to.
Even when it's hard. Like, there have been times where I have not wanted to hit play, hit record on the podcast, not wanted to do it. But we said to ourselves, like, let's just hit play. Let's just do it. Let's just record a podcast. We didn't have a clue what we were doing. It's almost 2 years. And
we'll talk about this more in 4 episodes.
Yeah, 104 will be 2 years exactly. But it's been almost 2 years of showing up every day and putting it out. And yeah, many a times I was like, ugh, I don't feel it. I don't feel it right now.
And that's why we started the episode with the celebration, actually, because it's the celebrating, it's the constantly celebrating the small things, like the pressing record when you don't feel like pressing record, celebrating yourself for the consistency, celebrating ourselves for doing it. It's the celebrating that gets us in momentum, so that when you run into an obstacle or when you run into a day where you don't feel motivated and you don't feel like doing it, that you still do it because you've got momentum and you're not going to stop now.
And it's made it a lot easier going through this together, so that when one of us is like, I don't feel like, yeah, but we need to. We made a promise to ourselves that we're going to show up and we're going to do it. We're not going to miss a week. We're going to do it we're going to launch an episode every single week.
Without fail, without miss.
And 100 weeks in a row, here we are.
Yep. So we start with celebrating because it's so important to build momentum, and you'll never achieve the big goal if you don't celebrate all the small steps along the way. So starting with celebration.
So that's one of the key ways to keep you in discipline, keep you in motivation, to keep hitting record, to keep showing up, getting to the gym every day, to keep showing up and building the business, to keep showing up and hitting record on the podcast. So what are some other ways that we've incorporated that have allowed us to be able to get to 100 without fail, like consistently every week hitting that goal?
I think there's 2 big things. 1 is celebrating and 2 is discipline.
Yeah.
And we've been talking about discipline a little bit this week, actually, just as it happened on something else. And we're pretty good at discipline. We weren't always, I would say. We were not always.
It's a muscle that we've built.
Yes, it's a skill, it's a muscle that we've built over the last 4 or 5 years. We were not always so disciplined. We are more disciplined now. And we've done that through a series of different activities and actions that we've taken to build the muscle of discipline. But one thing we've been talking about this week is, why have we gotten good at discipline? Like, what is it that we do that allows us to be disciplined?
Yeah, because it comes up, like, some people, it came up specifically this week.
On a mastermind call.
Yeah, someone wanted to go to the gym and they weren't feeling motivated to get there.
Yeah.
I said, well, why do you want to go to the gym? And the answer was kind of
wishy-washy.
Yeah, it wasn't like, my reason for going to the gym is I want to show up every day at the gym so that I can have a healthy, long life, so that I can prolong my life, so that I can have extra time with you. And so when we asked this person, you know, what's your reason, what's your motivation for going to the gym? Kind of would like to be more efficient at whatever it was. And it was just kind of a nice to have, not a must. And so I think really dialing in and figuring out what is the thing that you can think about when it's like, oh, I don't want to do that. Yeah, but
it's,
if you do, this is where you're headed.
Yeah.
This is what you're going for.
It's in service of the thing you ultimately want.
Yeah.
It's in service of the big thing, the big life that you want. It's driving you towards the thing, the big thing that you want.
It's interesting, and we've started talking about this week, is living in the future versus living for the future.
Right.
It's a very big distinction that we want to make very, very clearly right now. Is like living for the future is showing up today so that you have the thing that you want tomorrow. So
It's living in service of those big goals.
Yes.
It's doing
having,
the thing.
It's having your eye on the prize, the North Star. What is that thing?
Even when you don't feel like it.
Yeah.
You do the thing to get you there.
Exactly, because that's the thing that you're building towards.
That's living for.
Living for the future.
That's discipline.
We don't want to be living in the future and then not being present in our everyday and
Right.
being aware of what's going on around us and living in the moment. We still want to do that with the idea of what we're building towards in
Right.
the
Because
future.
living in the future breeds anxiety. If you're constantly future pacing and living in the future, you're always worried about what's going to happen. So you're missing the moments right now. So you don't want to be living in the future and living in anxiety. You want to be living in the present, because that's where happiness and joy exist. It's the only place they exist. So living in the present allows you to live happier. But when you live for the present, you're living for instant gratification, instant satisfaction. You're doing what you feel like doing right now in this moment, not necessarily what will get you where you want to go.
You'll choose the short-term comfort instead of choosing short-term discomfort, which is where the growth happens, so that you can get to the ultimate prize, which is long-term comfort. Long-term, I get the thing that I want at the end of the day.
Right.
So it's making that decision in the moment of, am I going to choose comfort or discomfort? And choosing comfort, you're living for the now.
Right.
Versus living for the future.
And so when you live for the future, you have discipline. When you live in the future, you have anxiety. When you live in the present, you have happiness. And when you live for the present, you stay stuck where you are. You never actually grow and progress and get the things that you actually want to achieve in life. And so to your point, you're trading the thing you ultimately want, like the big dream, the big things that you want in your life, for the instant gratification, the thing that you feel like doing right now. You're trading that thing you ultimately want for the thing you just feel like having in the moment.
And that's how we applied this concept to basically the podcast. Is we know that in service of our main goal, which is to have a huge impact and help a ton of people with their relationships, we have to hit record. We have to hit play. We have to show up every day, every week to have that impact. Even though in the moment, sometimes it's like, yeah, but I don't want to. I
don't feel like
I'm
it.
comfortable sitting right here not doing that.
Yeah.
That would be living in the now
That
versus
would be living for the present.
for the present instead of living for the future.
Yeah. So discipline was a big part of how we got here. 100 episodes in, not missing a week. And like I said, discipline was not something that we used to be good at. In our corporate lives, we were not as good as discipline. I was not as good at discipline as I am now. I certainly lived a lot more for the present than I lived for the future then. And so that's been a shift and something I've learned how to do. And it comes easier now than it did because I've practiced it.
Yeah, old me definitely lived the opposite, living for the present
Yeah.
and in the future.
For sure.
Versus in the present for the future.
Correct.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a 180 switch. And
Do you feel happier now that you live in the present and for the future?
yeah.
Yeah, me too.
100%.
Like it's not even close.
It's night and day different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the anxiety's dialed down.
And I'll tell you, the anxiety is down, but the amount of things that would normally cause anxiety is way up.
Yeah. Being
You
an
know,
entrepreneur is hard.
Entrepreneurship's not for the faint of heart.
No.
It comes with its stresses and all the anxieties and all the things.
Mm-hmm.
But being able to live in the moment and just understand that this is a process and we're working through some stuff,
Mm-hmm.
it has helped dramatically allow me to live in the present and for the future.
Yeah. Yeah, because if I was still living the way I used to live, like you said before, if I was still living in the future for the present, I would not be sleeping.
The panic button would have been hit many a times.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's actually the secret code. That's the secret skill that's going to get you anything you want in your life, whether it's in your business, in your health, in your marriage. The big life you want comes from living for the future and still living in the present.
I used to think that discipline was like basically handcuffs. Like it was the opposite of what I was looking for in life. I wanted freedom, and I thought discipline was basically telling me what to do, when to do it. And what I realized is that discipline is actually the opposite. It is what gets you to freedom. It's showing up every day, doing the little things that you don't necessarily want to do in the moment, that help you build the life that allows you to do all the things that you want, when you want to do them, with who you want to do them, wherever you want to do them. It is the ultimate path to freedom. And I never really understood that before. I always took that for granted, that it felt like discipline was me handcuffing myself and not allowing me to do the things I want, when in actual fact, it's the path to get exactly everything I want.
That's such a good point. So, thank you for celebrating with us in this episode. And thank you for following along on our journey on this podcast. And now, a question for you. What's one area of your life where you could introduce more discipline? Or what's one thing you're going to take from this episode and execute in your life? Because we love having a chit chat with you. But information is only useful if you actually put it into action. So what's one thing you're going to do differently this week based on our little chit chat here? And on that note, we will see you next week in episode 101.
One for every Dalmatian. Bye.
Bye. Before we wrap up, we just want to remind you about something really special we've created, the Infinite Relationship Mastermind. It's like a VIP backstage pass for anyone looking to level up any and all of the relationships in their life. And we're not just talking about the relationship with your spouse, though it does include that one. We're also talking about the relationships with yourself, your friends, your business partners, your family, all the important people in your life. This mastermind is for anyone ready to take all of their relationships to a whole new level. Whether you're thriving and you want to thrive even more, or you're feeling a little stuck and need some extra love and support.
We host exclusive live courses. We create a safe, no judgment space where members can just open up and honestly just have a ton of fun connecting with other amazing people who are building stronger relationships. And to be honest, the transformations we've seen are incredible, and it's exactly why we do what we do. It fills our heart like nothing else. Now, we are super protective of this community because it is all about trust, love, and support. So it's not for everybody. But if this does sound like it might tickle your fancy, then check out the link in the show notes and reach out to us if you have any questions. We'd love to chat and see if it's a fit for you. And as always, thank you so much for being a part of our journey on the road of life. And remember, you've got this, and we're here to help you every step of the way. So we'll see you next week.
Bye for now.
Road of life, yes, you own